Morning guys, today is more ply lining, and this afternoon I hope to start connecting up the electrical system. I have taken the dash cam indoors and updated the firmware on that, so I shall do a bit more on that later. Yes, I want to do some electrical system this afternoon, but it's a nice day so far, so the first thing I'm going to do is some ply lining. I need to do that panel that goes in here, and also some of these back panels for the back door. I'm going to create a door store in one of the sides back door and also in the sliding door, so I won't do that just yet. The other thing I need to do is mark up for when I secure these ply panels. Once they're in place, you need to know where all your pillars are behind. Now this one's easy to work out, we can see it, there it is, we can see it, so we know that runs down, that's easy enough. But it's the ones across, so when this is tight I know where they are, because I'm going to be fixing some things to that in the van. So I just need to make some markings with some tape on the sides here for that, exactly where that is. I measured up all these different panels, got all my measurements there, and I've got enough anthracite to do all the main panels, which is good, and the bit of black that's coming will do all these edging bits like this and like this and round the door and everywhere else, so that'll give it the effect that I quite like. Now the other day I mentioned, am I going to go for the broken sauna look or the boudoir look, i.e. cladding or carpet? Well, I'm going to go for a bit of both. I've got 3 packs of these in the shed, and the face cover is 88mm and there's 8 pieces, and 3 packs, it's just over 2 meters worth of coverage there. They're 1.8 meters long, so what that means is they will run from the front above the seat there, across all the way up to that roof bar here, and attach nicely. They actually overlap the other side if I want them to. And then what I'll do is, out of the original roof card, I will just cut the last end piece out and put that in. So there'll be a little bit, and I'll probably carpet that roof card at that end. That way that will give me the biggest part of the van will be clad. I've got Danish oil in the shed as well, so I can put them up. Now one of the things I always notice is people always struggle, and I'm sure I will as well, with getting the curvature here. So I need to look at that, especially places like this. I'm probably going to need to fill that gap with a small bit of batten wood running the length of the van on both sides, so that the cladding's got something to screw into when it gets to those last couple of pieces. I think that'll look quite good, and if it doesn't and I struggle, then I'll take it down again. But the other thing to do with these is to make sure, if I want to fix bits to them, I need to secure something to the back perhaps, or just know that there's something in, especially in where it fits in this panel here, and behind this thin insulation is just the van panel. Now these cards are very thin, can't remember what it is, it's 6mm ply, so you're not going to be able to screw and attach stuff. So I need to make sure I've got maybe a batten or something or two coming down into this gap, just so I've got something to fix to. It's tempting to just use a couple of offcuts and cover just the top of that side panel. as most of it's not even going to be seen. All this down here is going to be under the bed or whatever, but I've decided that I will cover it properly. Needs to be left a couple of minutes now. Just cut these so that they fold over nicely. The long straights don't need anything. So when it's attached it looks fairly crap, but when you turn it over, it looks pretty neat. Now, it does look like a bubble there, but I think it's just a mark. Yeah, it's just a mark. Very forgiving stuff. Love it. So the silver foam insulation on the back of that panel, let's get it into place. So, until the carpet trim comes, that's that for the moment. So there's the hardboard roof linings. The original ones out the van. Now I've seen worse. And I'm not putting those lights back in out of those two gaps. So they could be repaired, they could be covered, they could be tightened up. And if I do the ply line in the 1.8 metres from the cab to the second last roof rib, then I could just cut out the very bottom of this one, just to include all those holes, line that and pop that back in place. Put carpet lining on that, trim piece across, and the rest would all be, ceiling would be cladded. Not sure. Test fit on that panel and we'll come back off so I can black carpet around the outside. But I wanted to test just to make sure I could get this to work, because there isn't a lot of room, and by putting carpet on it makes it a little bit thicker, and some of the clips didn't go in very well, so I've had to trim the carpet quite thinly around there. You can actually see a slight gap, but that's gone in okay. Okay, so there's the cable that comes from the engine compartment. It's not connected up at the other end, but I'm putting it into an isolator switch, one of those type. I can remove the key so it can't be turned back on accidentally. Lose the key though, I could be in trouble. I'm sure they're generic. Some self tappers, that's going to go in there at some point. However, I've got that connector on. It's insulation tape and not heat shield. That's because I don't have any heat shield, shrink wrap, whatever you want to call it, that's thick enough. Now, I ordered a fair few of these clips. I did a count out what I needed for all the different size cable and eyelets and whatever, and this is how I make them up with this little tool that I mounted on a jig. I think I used it the other day, a knife or something. Works a treat. Let me just show you. And I didn't press record, so you think it's all a fake, but it did work and it ain't coming off. So I've built this little panel, quickly carpeted it, and put this isolator switch in. I've made sure the cables are in the right way around. That comes from the battery, and I've got this cable running off it, which will run to the Smart Pass, CTEC Smart Pass. I'm not going to get that done today though, and the reason for that gap underneath the driver's seat is that's where the heating duct, hot air duct, is going to come out from the diesel heater. Once and when I install that, duct will come out approximately to here, be angled this way into the van. In most cases, my electrics is done, and secondary electrics will be coming out of the units there behind the driver's seat, the cupboard down the end there, and this bit here. However, I need to think about now cabling for lighting. Focus on that. So I've got this little spotlight. That perhaps wants to go fairly high up in that panel. It's a tiny little screw hole to get those two cables through. Tiny little drill hole to get those cables through. It needs to be attached. So I need to think about that. I've also got various puck lights, flush ones and ones that sit on the surface and hang down. I don't want. It would have been easier just to look at the instructions. It's in a 55mm hole. There are 4 of them, and it says they're 3000 Kelvin, which is a warm white appearance, which will be absolutely perfect for the roof. Now, I've also got various strip lights that I want to partially conceal. That's how the batteries are going to go. I'm going to attach the cables to them, but that's going to have to wait for the morning now. It's almost dark already. So I don't even know how I'm going to edit this video. It's just been one of those days where I've done lots of little bits I've done on previous days. God knows what I'm going to even title this video. Well, you'll know by now. Anyway guys, that's it done for today. Do appreciate it if you like these videos and love the comments. So thanks very much, thanks for watching, see you again tomorrow.